I spent a day with a multi-millionaire power couple to learn what they do for a living and how they went from Mexican immigrants to living the American dream. Meet Nancy. And Joel Lopez. Together, they form an unstoppable force. But that wasn't always the case.
We're standing at the property that my father built with his bare hands. I spent most of my childhood life out here, and what can I say? Things changed a little bit. I'm the youngest of 5. It wasn't lavish. My mother and father split up when I was 6 years old.
Do you miss living in a house like this?
There's a lot of memories,
yeah.
and I enjoy the memories that were made here. I used to have a 4-wheeler, so I had a dirt bike also that I used to ride. I started working with my mom when I was 15 years old. I took over her business when I was 18. It was natural that I kind of fell into that, and I learned what she was doing, and it was natural. My mom's business actually started from the back of this house.
Its foundation came
from here.
From within the walls of what your father had made.
Yes, he built it as he went with whatever he could, whatever materials he could find. And It was not that he would go to Home Depot and buy materials. It was literally someone was throwing away materials and he was like, hey, I'll take them.
How did you meet your wife, Nancy?
So I actually met Nancy at the office. At the time she was dating someone and I just invited her out to eat, just, on a friendly note.
So we're clear, just friends.
Best friends.
Oddly enough, Nancy's side of the story is pretty different.
So I actually met him through my mom. My mom was like, hey, look, that's gonna be your husband. She made me dump my other boyfriend and—
Really?
Yeah, and I ended up with Joe. I didn't know that Joe was younger than me.
You're like a cougar.
Joe told me, hey, you wanna come to my graduation? I thought I was going to a college graduation, and it turns out I was going to his high school graduation.
FBI, open up!
So I grew up in Mexico until I was 10 years old, and then I moved to the United States, and I grew up here in Houston.
So I lived in this house about 3 years. I bought the house for about $550. I put in about $150,000 of renovations. Yeah. I think the property's worth about 1.1 right now.
Nice, good for you.
A fantastic day for real estate.
Do you and Nancy do a lot of cooking?
Nancy does all the cooking.
What is Joel's favorite meal to eat?
He loves tacos, menudo, pozole. I don't know if you know what that is.
I heard tacos, that's it.
Yeah, so I like Mexican food.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Mexican food?
What is your favorite food?
I love anything with seafood.
You gotta like the same kind of food in a relationship because it avoids like 50% of the problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And who does most of the cleaning?
Half and half.
Yeah. Right. Can you tell me what motivates you?
I've always been goal driven, and I remember preparing a life plan from when I was 18 all the way till I was 80. There are certain things that I could never expect. Whenever we had our kids, we had twins. They were born premature. They were born in January, and we were in the hospital all the way until April.
That's when I guess my mindset had to switch. My kids required like oxygen and medical stuff. I was like, oh, my job is not gonna allow me, So I was a teacher, so I ended up retiring, and Joe was like, well, why don't you work with me? It's like, I don't know, we're gonna sleep together, work together, everything together, but it worked out.
And it's funny because whenever we first got married, we used to live down the street and we'd pass by this neighborhood. We saw that different cars came into the neighborhood, the gates would open, and we're like, man, one day we're gonna live in that neighborhood.
If you want to achieve success, manifest, and meet more millionaires, hit subscribe for more videos like this one.
I bought my first Lamborghini when I was 20 years old. After we had our children, I was forced to sell my first Lamborghini. So as soon as business and the family were good, then I was like, you know what? It's
Time to get another one.
Time to get another one. Growing up, I always wanted to be an automotive designer for Lamborghini. After working, I decided that I'd rather spend my time driving one instead of designing it.
This is Nancy?
No, this is me.
This is you. This is Nancy. But she drives both.
Yes,
she drives both.
I drive both.
So you love supercars, and I know you're very popular online for doing photo shoots with them. And what's your Instagram handle?
It is Miss Supercar Driver.
like designer clothes and stuff like that?
I do, but I like more like accessories.
Did you grow up having any of these luxuries?
No.
Did you ever think you would?
No, because I didn't know about it. So I'm not too much into fashion.
Yeah.
My husband is. He's the one that actually gives me things.
What is your favorite gift Joel's ever given you?
Of course, the car.
Do you get a lot of looks and people like hollering at you when you drive this?
Yes, definitely. Because usually you see guys driving supercars and not girls. Definitely makes them turn, especially since I'm not that bad looking, so leave me alone, okay? I don't know what's in here, okay? So, it's clean.
Benefit is that she actually spends less money if she takes this car because nothing fits in it.
You can't go on a crazy shopping spree.
Oh, I fucked up.
Making money is only one part of the equation. Money does not equal happiness. Yes, it can do things that make you happier, but it's not the ultimate goal. Let's say your children. So instead of spending time with them, you buy them toys and give them money for them to do whatever you want. You're giving them a short-term happiness, but you're not really giving them what they really want.
Can you tell me about your aha moment when you were able to identify that you were going to be successful?
For me, it was knowing the fact that you could do something for yourself and there wasn't a limit on how much you could do that over again. And it just so happens that you do that for over a decade. And
All of a sudden there's 2 Lamborghinis in your driveway.
yeah.
I think that's fair.
You're damn straight it is.
What is your definition of success?
Being content and happy. As long as you're happy, I think that's true success. At this place, usually I'd be working weekends. So I'd work Saturday and Sunday out here. So right now we're sitting at our office. Here we do mainly insurance services, business, commercial, and then we also do multi-services for other stuff.
So I handle like all of the appointments and all of the bad things that you don't get to see.
Along the way, I noticed that a lot of my clients were contractors and needed more business services. This was in like 2016, 17 that I noticed that there was a deficit for that. So I started offering accounting services and bookkeeping services for those clients. Later on, we obtained a different location. My mom managed all the insurance and taxes here, and I managed all the taxes at the other place. My game plan is still grow 20% year over year, but there's still room for improvement. And I feel like if I did lose everything, I've already learned the way of doing it. So even if I lost everything, which took me 10 years to do, I'll probably get it back in about a year or two. Being in a small town, having big dreams, it's incredible to see where I'm at now. So that's why, even though there's greater things that I can obtain, I'm perfectly happy with what I've done so far.
If you want to live a luxurious lifestyle, you must surround yourself with success. Hit subscribe to do exactly that, and go watch this video to meet a multi-millionaire who built his business out of the trunk of his car.